The President of the United States stood inside the White House and said the federal government is thinking about buying big piles of Bitcoin. That is not a podcast headline. That is what actually happened on August 19, 2026, in the Roosevelt Room, with the CEOs of Coinbase, Ripple, and Robinhood sitting a few feet away. By the next morning, Bitcoin had smashed through $70,000. Let's rewind. Trump pulled together crypto executives, regulators, and market leaders and told them the enforcement era is finished. His words, the administration ended the war on crypto once and for all. The U.S., he said, must stay the undisputed leader in Bitcoin and crypto, ahead of China. And he handed Congress a date, pass the Clarity Act when the Senate returns in September. 67 million Americans own crypto today. This summit was about what happens to them next. Now the law everyone's shouting about. The Digital Asset Market Clarity Act is the most serious attempt in a decade to answer one dumb question: who actually regulates crypto in America? The bill sorts digital assets into three buckets. Digital commodities go to the CFTC. Investment contract assets go to the SEC, payment stablecoins follow the stablecoin law. There's a grandfather clause too. Any token that anchored an approved exchange-traded product before January 2026 gets permanently treated as a non-security. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Dogecoin, all of them get clarity instantly. No issuer has to ask permission. Here's the catch though. The bill has been stuck for 2 months. The House passed it in 2025 with 294 votes. The Senate Banking Committee pushed it forward in May. Then it stalled, over an ethics fight about government officials profiting from crypto. And on August 8, the Senate just left for recess. No vote. So the question is, when the rules are this close, why can't Washington finish the job? The second announcement is the one that moved markets. Asked whether the United States could buy sizable amounts of Bitcoin and other crypto, Trump said it's been talked about. Then he added, if regulators come in with recommendations, he would certainly listen. Let's be careful here. The U.S. already holds Bitcoin. Most of it was seized in law enforcement operations and locked into the strategic Bitcoin reserve he created back in 2025. The executive order says the government cannot sell it. It never said the government would buy more. Here's the part the headlines missed. Trump announced no purchase program. No timeline. No budget. He punted the decision to SEC Chair Paul Atkins and his crew. Markets still read it as a signal, because the president just told the world that owning Bitcoin eases pressure on the dollar. So the question is whether this is real policy or a speech. Whatever the answer, it decides the next few months. And that brings us to the move nobody saw coming. Bitcoin sat stuck between 62 and 64,000 for weeks. Wednesday, it broke 70,000. By early Thursday, it traded around 69 to 71,000. But the White House was only part of the story. The rally actually started in the bond market. The Treasury said it would double the size of its long-dated bond buyback program, a liquidity signal that made the dollar weaker. Then the summit. Then the squeeze. Over $1.4 billion of short positions were liquidated in 4 hours. Traders who bet against crypto got forced to buy back, and that pushed the price higher. Coinbase stock jumped 8% before the market even opened. Hyperliquid's token jumped 11% after Trump name-dropped the exchange. Every leg of this move has a different driver: bond policy, political signal, forced buying. Uncomfortable question time. Is this a real rally, or just a policy trade? The room felt electric. Brian Armstrong left the White House talking about a bipartisan vote and the next bull run. Binance founder Changpeng Zhao posted 2 words that went around the world: "We are so back." But the odds tell a colder story. On Polymarket, the chance the Clarity Act becomes law this year has dropped from above 80% in February to roughly 30% today. Republicans don't have enough votes on their own. The bill needs 60 in the Senate. And several Democrats still hold the line on the ethics fight. That's the real tension of this moment. Executives are celebrating. The legislative math is brutal. Patrick Witt, the White House crypto advisor, says the administration stays committed and can't afford to wait forever. But speeches don't move 60 senators. So what does this mean for you? If you hold crypto, September 15th is now the most important date on your calendar. That's the first Senate procedural vote on the Clarity Act. It needs 60 votes. Watch 3 things. Whether the ethics deal gets done. Whether any Democrats cross over. And whether Bitcoin holds above 70,000. 2 worlds from here. 1. The bill passes, crypto gets clear rules in America, institutions flood in. 2. It stalls again, and the rally fades back to the same range it lived in for months. The summit moved the market in one day. The Senate decides how much it matters. Here's my question for you. Does the Clarity Act get 60 votes on September 15th? Drop your call in the comments. And if you want to stay ahead of every crypto policy shift, subscribe, the next vote is coming faster than you think.